Hello everyone, I know this looks incredibly different, mostly because my very expensive normal computer fucking decided to, I don't know, shit the bed completely this time, so for the time being, I guess I'm just gonna have to work at an older computer in a different office, so do mind, well, don't really mind too much. Still gonna have, hopefully, the same amount of videos every day. I'm just gonna probably try to keep them a little bit shorter because mostly I don't know how this computer is gonna hold up to processing longer videos, doing a whole bunch of editing on the back end and all that kind of fun stuff. But it's a good time if anything's gonna be shitting the bed like right now because, well, this week doesn't really look like there's gonna be a whole lot going on. So what we seen here wasn't quite the same type of spectacular event that happened like last year over the Christmas weekend. And by the way, I hope everybody had a terrific Christmas. I know I did, speaking for myself, but for everybody else out there, hopefully you guys had a great time. And yeah, it's my favorite day of the year. It's my favorite time of the year. And hopefully you got to spend it with those that you like and those that you love as well. But yeah, somebody who decided to absolutely throw a fit ahead of the holiday season was this lady on a Delta flight. Okay, she decided that she was going to be one of the mask Karens that was out there. She was going to try to patrol the holiday flight that she was on, and she was going to make sure that an 80-year-old man, yeah, she really picking on the hard targets here. And more about her background, yeah, 50-year-old divorcee. Her kids are in another fucking continent away from her, and she has several cats. So just real catch here. So she's just trying to assert her dominance. And deal with her fading, formerly hot girl relevance. It really does suck to suck, but how did she spend her weekend? Well, in the custody of the FBI, apparently. Yeah, if you're going to be causing a fuss on any flights that are out there, make sure that they aren't crossing state lines. They won't have to be held up and club fed. So, FBI detains Karen who assaulted maskless man on a Delta flight. The woman did not have a mask on throughout the entire encounter. Oh yeah, silly me expecting somebody who's acting completely irrationally. Okay, hitting, yelling, and even spitting. Get that one too. Okay, she's so concerned about the coof that's going on out there that she wasn't wearing a mask herself and that she would spit on an 80-year-old man who's just having a bite to eat and having a drink on the fucking plane. He still had his mask, and we're going to see some pictures here in a minute. The mask was around his fucking chin when he was having a bite to eat. So I don't know, this bitch, she don't make a whole hell of a lot of sense. An American woman lost her temper with a senior on the flight on Sunday. She has now been detained by the FBI as a result of her actions, according to TMZ. Patricia Cornwall, interesting, who was flying from Tampa to Atlanta on a Delta flight, became violent with an old man. Literally, he was 80. Okay, he still is, thankfully. He survived this ordeal, obviously. He wouldn't pull up his face mask while he was eating and drinking. The woman did not have a mask on throughout the entire encounter. Cornwall proceeds to shout at the man and eventually hits him in the face. We'll see a little bit of a video from that. Flight crew, had to jump in case of Cornwall's actions continue. Oh, just in case they would have. They did. She was completely and utterly irrational. The flight crew, eventually restrained the woman and forced her back to her seat. The old man told the woman she was going to jail, called her Karen for assaulting him twice. As it turns out, the man was correct. Well, to be fair, okay, he said that she was going to be spending time in jail. She was just in custody and then told that she would have to come back, and she made her first appearance out there. And in fact, it's not the first time that she would be photographed. In fact, foul-mouthed a Delta passenger who was arrested for spitting and punching at an 80-year-old passenger for not wearing a mask while he ate, despite her not wearing one either, is revealed to be a luxury real estate agent, and apparently not a very successful one either, and a former Raiderette. Yes, an Oakland Raiders cheerleader. Okay, and not one terribly recently, one from my fucking youth, okay, from the time that I was an elementary school kid. She was a Raiderette in the fucking 90s, so this bitch is finished, and she is taking it out on, I don't know, an 80-year-old? Oh, she was 51, for Christ's sake, so, yeah, it's just really, really tough to sympathize with this crazy bitch, okay? A high-flying realtor who worked for Coldwell Banker, in Berkshire Hathaway. Funny story about Cold well banker. Fuck, that's tough to say. Maybe because it's freezing in this room and I don't have my heater like in my normal location. Grr. Anyways, no, I first moved to Grand Prairie. Fuck, I was 6 years old. Probably the same time this bitch was a fucking Raiderette dancer, perhaps. As the name suggests, well, it might lead you to believe that it might not be a real estate agency. That's what it is. I'm sure you guys have them wherever you're at. Anyways. But yeah, when we first moved to Grand Prairie, one of the biggest things that was going around is not very bright felons that live in the area. And as such, yeah, the real estate agency, the office itself, was broken into. And when they were apprehended, they were asked why they broke into a real estate agency. And that was because, well, they thought that they were going to try to attempt to rob a bank. That's the quality of criminal you get here in Grand Prairie. Not exactly the highest pedigree. And Berkshire Hathaway, there you go. Now she's moving up in the world. In California, has been revealed as a Delta passenger. Oh, was revealed as the Delta passenger who was arrested by the FBI for attacking an 80-year-old man on the plane after he removed his face mask to simply eat. Patricia Cornwall, a real estate agent previously based in Los Angeles. Nothing's based about her conduct. Who, on the 1990s, according to Tick Leak, I don't know what the fuck that is, a member of the Raiderette's cheerleaders for the Las Vegas NFL team. Well, it was the Oakland Raiders because, she was a dancer in the 90s. There was no way that she was dancing for the Vegas subsidiary. I'm sure she probably was dancing in Vegas, just not for an NFL team. It was on the Thursday flight from Tampa to Atlanta when the altercation took place. Cornwall had recently moved to Florida. Yeah, but you know how it said in the headline here that she was a successful luxury real estate agent? Well, she was looking for a $1,200 a month room to rent in Okaloosa. Moving from California, I'm a single divorced and have 2 grown children who are overseas in the UK. Yup, trying to get the fuck away from you, you simple bitch. I have been practicing residential real estate for 13 years in Los Angeles, West Side. I have also lived in Florida in the past few years, and I'm excited to reintroduce Florida back into my life permanently. Renting a room will be a great start. Settling me in. Furnished is preferred. Don't worry about a guest room or anything like that, mostly because nobody's coming to visit you, you fucking simpleton. Oh, and then you won't be going back either because, you could be taking a detour off to Club Fed. I've also lived in Florida. Oh, I'm sorry. On her LinkedIn profile, she described herself as a luxury property specialist at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services California Properties. She took exception to the 80-year-old man taking off his face covering to eat and drink while at his seat. Yeah, not saying whether or not he was like right behind her, across the aisle from her. All we know is that she took it upon herself to be the mask police on this flight. Pair exchanged a volley of foul-mouthed insults, which ultimately descended into physical violence, with at least one crew member and multiple other passengers reportedly injured while trying to get Cornwall away from the man who has not been identified. You could tell about 20-30 years ago there was probably something quite attractive under there. And yeah, no, definitely. The Raiderettes at one point or another were really trying to rival the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders, but now there's some tough bitches. Anyways, yeah, and obviously she has fucking cats. At least that's something that will put up with her fucking insanity. Picture of her with her friends on Facebook. Yep. It wouldn't be with her kids. They're off in the UK, far away from your crazy ass. Cornwall was seen hitting, scratching, and spitting at the older male passengers. The pair exchanged expletives after she approached him for not wearing his mask. Again, it's not your responsibility, and if you're that fucking scared of the coof, how about stay home? How about do that? Cornwall is due to appear for an initial appearance at the federal courthouse in Atlanta on Monday. Oh, good, she should have been there today. Oh, hopefully everything went well for her. The video captured by ATL Uncensored, independent journalist was also on the flight, I guess. Cornwall is seen angrily confronting the man for not wearing his mask, though he had taken it off to eat. "Put your fucking mask on," Cornwall tells the man as the pair continues to go back and forth with one another. After continuously refusing to comply with her demands, well, he's eating at the same time. What does she anticipate? He's supposed to, take a bite to eat, put up his mask just so she can feel a little bit more safe. She's probably one of those idiots that also thinks that vaccines don't work unless everybody on the flight has them at the same time. Then how do you explain breakthrough cases? But that's probably just a little bit too much for that little pea brain to understand. "Sit down, Karen," he yells. Wow, an 80-year-old up on the memes. You love to see it. Hopefully I'm not spry at that age. As flight crew members approach the fighting pair in an attempt to get them to calm down, she then demands the crew help her. As she repeatedly barks, "Tell him to mask up." Yeah, that's one way to definitely get more people on your side. Continue to snap at everybody around you. Listen, you could get away with the cunty behavior when you're 25, 26, not when you're 51, okay? Sucks to suck. The wall comes from all. "Put your mask down, bitch," he tells her. My man. "Did you call me a bitch?" Oh, now she takes offense. Oh, okay, cool. Now you got her on the back foot. This dude's winning by just saying one fucking word. You'll love to see it. She's then seen smacking and scratching him in the face. "Now you're going to jail," the man says. "That's assault." Technically, it's battery, but you know what? Hey, I don't know, a lot of judges are simps out there, especially federal judges, but you're picking a fight with a fucking 80-year-old man. I think you should probably get your life in order. But yeah, no, we got a little bit of a snapshot of what was going on the flight itself. But yeah, you can see her being incredibly rational, making everybody's life a living hell in... Oh my God, can you believe this? In Coach, okay? Like Coach, on some flights, on some of those older flights, they're already just not great themselves, but then she just absolutely spurgs out for no real good reason. It kind of just looks like, oh, really? To be completely honest, it looks like, yeah, the flight attendant was right there. And if there was really just this mass call of people just, really, really needing the 80-year-old to keep his mask up, who probably, based on age and demographics, he's probably all fucking jabbed up and he probably takes the proper precautions anyways. So I don't know why you'd be very scared of him, but your perspective, I guess. But thankfully, though, there were some feds waiting for her once they got back, or once they landed the flight to Atlanta. So somebody kicked off their Christmas weekend with a bang and a spit and a scratch, I guess. But anyways, guys, with that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.